So we're excited today to welcome Jeff Deck and Benjamin D. Herson to Ann Arbor. They're the authors of The Great Typo Hunt. They actually went on the road, went around the country, and started making the world a better place by one correction at a time. It's a really funny book. It's really well written. They run afoul of the law. They actually got banned from the national parks. Basically they just found a lot of typos, and they did a lot of soul searching along the way. That's S-O-U-L. Anyway, we're going to go see if we can find some typos. Hey guys, how's it going?
Hey.
I'm Matt.
Hey there.
Benjamin, nice to meet you.
I'm Jeff.
Jeff, welcome to Ann Arbor. So you got some drinks there. We're gearing up. We're ready to go hunt for a couple of typos. So what do you think? You guys ready?
Yeah, let's do it.
All right. All right, so just before we get going here, a little bit about the background. I know you were at your 5-year college reunion, and you're surrounded by people who are kind of out and establishing charities and orphanages and things like that, and kind of wondering what your contribution was going to be. How did it all come together? How did you decide that it was going to be by fixing typos?
Well, so at that point, I said to myself, okay, I want to make a difference too. But I first had to ask myself what my specialty was, and the answer I came up with was editing. I'd worked as an editor at a couple different places, and I could spot a typo at 100 yards. So I decided I'd focus on typos. I jumped in my car and hit the streets, and that's how the Great Typo Hunt started.
And then how did you hook up with Benjamin?
Well, that's about when he started calling around looking for some road companions. And, the funny thing is I don't remember him mentioning the typos at all when he first called. I remember hearing road trip, and I said, great. But then I guess he was already on the road down from Boston to meet me in Maryland when I realized he was serious about hunting the typos. But the first place we walked in, he spotted one, I spotted one at the same time, 2 different typos, and I was just rolling.
So what were your first typos that you found?
Well, the first ones we found together as a team were we were in a cafe, and I spotted said putting instead of pudding on a chalkboard. They were missing one of the D's, and I turned around to tell Benjamin about the typo, and he had already found one himself.
Yeah, it was A coloring contests. So it had A indicating that it was singular, but it was plural contests. So we actually had to ask somebody, do you have one coloring contest on Kids Night, or do you have multiple coloring contests over the night?
So we are here at Sam's in Ann Arbor, which is a very hip, very cool kind of boutique clothing store. And I think we might have found our first typo of the day, if you guys want to take it away.
Sure, yeah. We've got women's pants here, and you can see that there isn't an apostrophe in the plural. I mean, in the possessive. They know how to do it, because if you look over there, there's an apostrophe in women's, and so it would be great if we could just maybe convince them to just insert the apostrophe in there. It's the same on the other side. Hi, we're with the Typo Eradication Advancement League, and we noticed just a small mistake in the sign over there. Just women's is missing an apostrophe, and yes. I was wondering if I could just kind of draw it in with a Sharpie.
Yeah, that's fine. I don't mind, but the person who makes the signs is pretty careful about them.
Oh yeah,
so
yeah.
Just make the shadow and the highlighting and everything.
We're gonna do it really carefully, and I don't think we have the exact color for the shadow, so we might just leave that
okay,
part.
We can fix it in there.
Yes.
So we don't put
Perfect.
the wrong color on there.
Yeah,
so.
sure thing.
So I'll just do the apostrophe itself.
Subtle little apostrophe.
Indeed. A little more wobbly than I wanted.
All right, so the whole project was not only to find these typos, but also to fix them for the greater good. So what kind of tools do you take with you when you're going on a typo hunt?
Well, I had to put together a special typo correction kit, and here it is in its finished form. It got different tools as we ran into different situations. I mean, it had the whiteout from the beginning, obviously, but had a couple different Sharpies to begin with, and then I eventually needed to get a whole rainbow of them, and it included this brown Sharpie, and I thought to myself, well, this is probably never going to be used, just this brown color, but we were in Vegas, and we saw this sign that had all these beverages listed that had apostrophes in them, like coffee, apostrophe S, and cappuccinos, and it was on a brown background, so that was the time for the brown Sharpie to shine.
For every Sharpie, there's a time and a typo.
Indeed.
Exactly.
So do you ask everybody before you go ahead and make a correction?
Well,
Glad you asked.
Yeah, I'll confess that we didn't during the actual trip, and it ended up getting us in trouble with one particular sign at the Grand Canyon. But we are definitely going by the rule of always get permission now, and we encourage all other typo hunters out there to do the same, because it's not worth getting in trouble over.
Yeah, we no longer support or condone stealth typo corrections.
Since you brought it up, I feel there's a Grand Canyon in the room, so
Right.
that was definitely that was actually the first time I heard of you. I was just reading about that. I used to be a copy editor. I work with copy editors at work, and this guy forwarded it on to me and was like, "Wow, this is hilarious!" And so maybe you should tell that story.
Yeah.
Well, we were at the Grand Canyon visiting. We were just there to take a little break from typo hunting, take a little vacation, see the sights, because typo hunting isn't all work and no fun. I mean, you have to be able to appreciate the places that you're visiting.
And we really thought this was going to be a day off. We had just hit typo 99, and we said we'll come back and hit 100 the next day. There's not going to be any text to correct at the Grand Canyon. There's no scrawl on the mountain walls. So
Oh wow! So this was the
we were
100th.
supposed to be, yes, that was actually the 100th typo correction.
Yeah.
As it happens.
The ill-starred correction. We went into this like fake Native American watchtower that they have on the South Rim, and up on the second floor there's this kind of innocuous looking sign that's on like black fiberboard and has yellow writing kind of scrawled all over it, and we initially thought it might even be a chalkboard, and it had a couple of mistakes in it. There was the word women's that had the apostrophe in the wrong place, like women's possessive. It came after the S. Yeah. And there was also a list with a missing comma in it, so two of the items in the list would run together. Like if you were saying apples, oranges, and bananas, it would be like apples, oranges. So we fixed the typo because we thought the sign was had just been kind of thrown up there, and it turned out to be a big mistake.
Yeah, it turned out it was historically and artistically significant, and we thought just because it was telling about the significance of the artwork on the walls and the tower itself, we didn't realize that it could be significant itself. It was really a stupid mistake, but yeah.
So are you actually allowed in the national parks now?
We are.
Yeah.
You were for a while. You were not allowed to set foot. Is that right?
Yeah, as part of our punishment for that apostrophe move and comma insertion, we were fined $3,000, or they called it restitution money, although they didn't actually use it to fix the sign. And we were banned from all national parks for a year, and that ban ran out last August. So we can now roam in the wilderness once again. Uh-oh, I think we got something here. Let me just recheck the spelling of daiquiris using my handy smartphone. It looks like they're missing an I between the A and the Q.
Oh,
It should be D-A-I, yeah. So, yeah.
See, that's
I'm gonna
one.
have to check
That's
that
one
out.
I need the spelling bee champ for. I would not have
Yeah.
noticed that one on my own.
Yeah, we're gonna have to ask somebody if we can fix that. I've got the chalk, so it should be a pretty simple matter.
Well, they're delicious either way, but I did not know.
Yeah,
It was spelled D-A-I-Q.
Oh, I'm pro daiquiri, and that's why I want to set the record straight here.
I definitely didn't write that.
I've got chalk with me. I could just like write in the I
just
right
put
now.
that I, right?
Yeah. It's like a light green, I think.
Yeah.
Should be good.
All right, here we go.
All right. Yeah, it just happened to have this chalk.
Yeah, that is one of the rules of typo hunting, is to be prepared for any occasion.
Yeah. You know, that doesn't look like quite the right color, though. I think.
Well, we go around correcting typos, so we have to have all sorts of different tools. We're not arresting anyone. We're just going for the typos themselves.
Let me just wonder if a white would work a little better. What do you think?
You can lighten it up with a white.
Yeah.
We might not be able to smell well.
Oh, that's good. Pink on this side?
Pink on this side, so you gotta switch it up. And capitalize. No.
Indeed.
Yeah, well, just a single stroke will do. That looks great.
There we go.
Yeah, he can usually match them so that nobody will notice.
You can. That's really how you spell that.
Yeah.
Yeah, does anybody know what origin that word is?
What's
Definitely
the etymology?
Yeah, exactly.
of the word?
Uh-oh, you got me on the spot there. I don't know.
You don't have.
Is that
you
a
guys
French
don't-
word,
Do you guys
or-
keep the thesaurus and the dictionary with you?
Most of it's up here, but I mean,
a
thanks
spelling bee
to the wonders of modern technology, you can just the Palm Pre trademark, yeah.
Absolutely.
So yeah, like.
Well, you guys are all gentlemen and scholars, and what you're doing is great. I think.
Thank you
you.
so much
I
for
appreciate it.
being
And
cool
My
about
name's
this.
Mike Hepler.
Yeah.
Nice to meet you.
I'm
I
Jeff.
don't care about the size.
Thank you very much.
It's all kind of started for you back at Dartmouth, at your alma mater, and the book is, obviously it's funny, and the premise is definitely amusing, but a lot of it for you actually was about kind of self-discovery and finding something that you really wanted to do. Do you feel like you found your calling?
I think I definitely found a calling. I mean, I think that what we did going around and having conversations with people about typos and about grammar and language, I think it did have a lasting impact. Some of the typo corrections that we made themselves might not last, but I think we gave people a lot to think about. And
I think we're changing the mission a little bit. Instead of just going around and correcting typos, we want to engage people and bring them in. So we're sort of asking everyone to take a second look and hoping that that'll be our legacy.
Yeah. Well, you're definitely making a marked difference in the world, and really enjoyed the book. It's an awesome read. It's really funny, and I love watching all the situations you guys get yourself into. You get banned from the national parks. You couldn't have imagined that before you started. So, thanks a lot for joining us. It was really awesome hanging out with you guys, and I'm glad we straightened them out on that whole Zachary thing.
yeah.